I'm at the Old Rectory at Epworth for today's Masterclass. Built in 1709, this was the childhood home of John Wesley, who founded Methodism, and his brother Charles, who wrote some of our most beloved hymns. My name is Marianne Smith, and today I will be presenting a session on how to attract more of your best customers as part of the Customer Journey series. Let's start first with the perception of marketing. The more we market, the more we sell, right? But what happens when we don't sell? Marketing becomes confusing, it becomes overwhelming, and quite often we don't know where to start. What we need is clarity, focus, and a plan. In these 3 short videos, I will show you how to impress, to attract, how to ignite, to convert, and how to indulge to retain those customers you want to work with. And how this must be done at every touch point by everyone within the business. But first of all, who is this customer? I like to think of it as working out who our best customers are. A simple way to do this is number 1, do they make you happy? Do they make you money? Do they make you proud? If you put your current customers in a room, who would you want more of? This is who we're going to go after when we market and when we sell. By every touch point, I mean putting the customer at the heart of everything we do. Creating a business where it's not about what you do, but what your customers want that keeps you busy. It's about thinking about what they love, about your industry and what you do. For example, if I want my car fixing, I know I need to go to the garage. But if I want it done well, and I like the team, it's easy to get there, I will go to the garage that I love. If I can't get through on the telephone, the team are not so friendly, they overcharge me, that fits into my hate category. We need to do more of the loves and work out how to fix the hates with systems or collateral so they remain and shout great things about us. So let's look at how all this works. Let's split the customer journey into 3 sections. Today we will cover 2 of the remaining 4 over the next 2 videos. Let me show you how the customer journey works in its entirety. How you raise awareness, how to get them to consider you over the competition, how to give them some kind of trial, a stepping stone, so they get to know you, how to welcome them on board when they purchase, how to keep them in terms of retention, and how to get them shouting great things about you as part of our final part of the customer journey in advocacy. So first of all, awareness. This is about informing them, telling your customers what you do. So it's about being where your prospects are when they need your products or services. So first of all, let's look at these 2 brands. We've got Aldi's and we've got Marks and Spencer's. They both know their target market. Every touch point is geared towards their best customer, from the entrance to the packaging, to the uniforms, the whole experience of shopping in their stores. They don't deviate as they know what keeps them busy. Let's look at what comes under the bracket of awareness. So things like your social media platforms, so Facebook or LinkedIn. Your bio, for instance. So what does your bio say about you? How are you portraying your services? What does your brand look like? The images you use, are they fit for those best customers that you want to work with? Think about networking. So remember I said it's about being in the right place at the right time. What's your elevator pitch? So if you introduced yourself to somebody, if they ask what you do, what can you say in 11 seconds that will get over to them very quickly what you do and how you help customers? PR. Think about what you want to be famous for. What's your story? How do you want to create that head turn and stand out in the crowd? Exhibitions. So again, be where they are. So if that's a general exhibition where you can serve many businesses, or an industry exhibition. Think about advertisements. You're not advertising you are advertising the problem and how you fix their problem. That's going to draw them in. And then something like email marketing. Make it relevant, make it memorable so you stand out. Those are just a few of the things that come under awareness, and it is about selecting which one works for you. Now let's continue down the customer journey. We've looked at awareness, being in the right place at the right time. Now let's look at getting them to consider you before we move on to the other 4 stages in the next 2 videos of this series. So this is about impress, consideration, making the right first impression with evidence to show that you are better than the competition. A few of the things that come under consideration, things like your content strategy, your communications plan. So you're on social media, which we mentioned in awareness, but what is your strategy for being on those social media platforms and how are you going to plan that out? We mentioned about LinkedIn and we mentioned about Facebook. Think about your profile. See it as your best CV, your best pitch. And those LinkedIn connections, build that relationship. Get them to get to like you, get to know you, and get to trust you before you go in to sell. Think about your website. When they hit that website, can they see straight away that you can fix their problems? Make it easy to navigate. So if you want them to look at your services from a LinkedIn post, don't direct them to your website page, homepage, direct them straight to that service page and give them an indication of what you want to do in terms of a call to action. So if you want them to get in touch with a telephone call or an email, or if you want them to download, say, a help guide, make it clear what you want them to do when they hit that page. Think about the blogs on your website. Are you talking about the problem or the need? Are you showing them how to fix that problem and bringing them down the customer journey? Something that really works in terms of content on your website or on social media is things like FAQs, so those frequently asked questions. These work really well in terms of every stage of your customer journey. So think about all those questions that that best customer would ask you and turn them into answers that you can put on your website or you can post on social media. A really useful tip is maybe turning some of that content into a help guide. Give stuff away at this point. Give your expertise away so they know they've landed at the right place at the right time. It could be something around attending an exhibition, for an example. Remember, it's about being in the right place at the right time, but here in this stage, they're considering you over the competition. So be that expert. Have a well-branded stand. Have the collateral there with you, that they're impressed by what they see and they're drawn in. Your shop window. So if you do have a premise, make sure that the outside looks nice, you're pulling them in, and once they step inside, they are impressed by what they see. So in this particular stage of the customer journey, really think about being helpful, being credible, being that expert. So what do you want to be famous for? Create your services and products and segment them into groups. So remember, different people have different problems which you're fixing, but it'll be those products and services that you can help them with. Note your FAQs. So those frequently asked questions, and turn them into really good content, because people will be looking for that content online. They will be looking for that content when they hit your website. And just imagine you've got them on a piece of string and you're pulling them down your customer journey. And one frequently asked question you could turn into a post on LinkedIn or Facebook. You can turn it into a blog for your website. You can create a video out of that frequently asked question. You can create a more detailed help guide. You could progress into something like a podcast or a webinar, or do some kind of workshop, and then eventually you could be some kind of guest speaker, that expert at a conference, speaking to a room full of your best customers. So thinking about awareness and consideration and what you do, how could you dial up? Not to 10, but giving it that extra bit. So everything you do is about 11. So if you imagine a dial, you're dialing it up to an 11. Make every interaction count. Make it relevant and memorable for your customer. Fill those gaps and spot those opportunities at these 2 stages of the customer journey so we can move them on to the next stage. So that is the end of the session, how to attract more of your best customers, part of the customer journey. We look at how to convert and how to retain your best customers in 2 more videos on the customer journey.